everything he does, everything that happens to him, shatters the mold.
It's like a Hollywood
You can't
script.
make this up.
You can't
no, I'm
make
seriously.
this up. You cannot make it up.
Seriously, how could you have imagined even 2 weeks ago Peyton Manning would choose the Denver Broncos and that Tim Tebow would be on the trading block?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
I'm just wondering where he's going to be traded. What team is T.O. playing for? Can he trade him to that team?
The Allen Wranglers.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Maybe he'll be there.
Well, let's talk about that because we discussed hypothetically if this happens, where might Tim Tebow be traded? Now it's much closer to being a reality. So when this trade market opens, how many people are calling John Elway? How many teams are interested?
Honestly, I don't think anybody's calling. You're not going to start him. He's not going to be your starting quarterback. He is not ready to play quarterback in the NFL. No team is going to bring him in to back anybody up because of the fiasco that it's going to bring. And it's not his fault. I cannot take anything away from what he was able to accomplish last year with the Denver Broncos. He won 8 games. He made a believer out of me. He made
a believer out of you in what way?
He beat the Pittsburgh Steelers because he did it against all odds.
But you say that. You say he made a believer out of you, but you say
he made me go to church, Rob. I had to go to church because he beat the Miami Dolphins. No, excuse me. He beat the New York Jets.
Yep.
He beat the New York Jets. And I didn't think that this guy had the momentum to go out there and do what he was able to do, but he did it. You can't take that away from him.
I'm not taking it away from him, but because he did that, yet you still don't have any confidence in him and nobody else does.
Because
why
when you look at his skill set right now and his mechanics as a quarterback, he's not ready to play the position the way that it needs to be played.
But why would that matter if he wins games? I'm just trying to...
Perhaps, Rob, because it's going to mean a philosophical change offensively to wherever he goes. Denver had to go through that.
Oh, geez.
And there it is. Here's the picture of Hugh being sent to church because
nice bow tie, too.
Very nice.
The Broncos beat the Jets.
Did you put something in the collection plate?
We'll talk about that after the show.
Yeah, Tim Tebow himself gave you a shout out after that
Yes,
game.
he did.
He did.
And I have a tremendous amount of respect for what he was able to do on the field. But when you look at what he's going to bring to a team, he's not going to be the starter. What kind of quarterback wants that pressure of having a Tim Tebow?
I agree with you. All I'm saying
How many teams call Denver?
0.
No interest whatsoever.
I don't see it. I don't know.
Not as quarterback.
Unless you're saying Jacksonville doesn't care. They just want to sell tickets and bring in their hometown hero back. If that's the one team, I'll accept that. I don't see any other team going out to make this move for those reasons. He's not your starter. You don't want him to be the backup guy. All the backup quarterbacks are the best guys in town because everybody, if you're not playing, they want you to play until you get out there. So I don't see why you would open this can of worms if you're a team that's not.
Of worms?
It's a can of worms.
All you want to do is win games?
No, but not only that,
crazy.
Skip, when you bring in Tim Tebow right now with his skill set, you're changing your whole offensive philosophy. Just say, for instance, if he did go to Jacksonville, first-year head coach Mike Mularkey, he's not going to want to change his offense. This is his first statement that he's making as a head coach. Now you bring in Tim Tebow. You already have an offensive philosophy. You bring in Tim Tebow. Now you're changing your philosophy to fit one guy. And you might not have the pieces in place to do that. And that's the problem that you have.
How dramatic was Denver's change? I didn't see it very dramatic. I didn't see it. You know what? Half the time he would just under center hand it off to McGahee in the I formation. The other half of the time, McGahee was standing beside him in the shotgun. Everybody's in the shotgun. Brady's in the shotgun 75% of the time, except sometimes he's got a blocking back or a protector next to him. This time, it's McGahee for Tebow. I don't think it's a dramatic change at all.
You know how hard it is to block for a guy that you don't know what he's going to do. You don't know his sets. You don't know how far he's going to drop back when he drops back to throw the football and all of the other stuff.
Here's why
it's a different philosophy.
Here's why 6 or 8 teams will call, and this will become
6
a Tebow.
or 8. Can you name them, please?
Name me 2.
Well, I need to know where the dominoes fall because we haven't finished with the musical chairs quarterbacks yet. But just because Chad Henne went to Jacksonville, that doesn't mean Tebow won't be the starter in Jacksonville next year. I remind you, the current owner, before he was owner, pushed them to take Tebow in the draft. And you don't think he's exerting some new force right now on the front office to go acquire Tim Tebow? Blaine Gabbert or none, it doesn't matter. Henne or nobody, it doesn't matter. You have to go get somebody.
Why make a trade? Wait till he's released and then pick him up.
He'll be traded. What he did last year, you're never going to buy into this, and I'm not preaching to any choir here. I'm preaching to my own choir, was special. It was rare. to take a team that was 1-4 and win 7 out of 8. Again, I keep telling you guys, if he'd won 2 out of 4, I would back off. 7 out of 8, and then had the best QBR, late game QBR in pro football last year.
So why is he not wanted, Skip? When you,
how do you know he's not? I say he will be very wanted as soon as they put him out there. Because Rob, you laugh. Force of competitive nature, intangibles are off the chart. Even Elway continued to say he changed our football team. He changed the locker room, changed the huddle, changed the spirit of our franchise. He reinvigorated us. He put us back on the map. He can do all that for another team that has the guts to buy into this. I don't think it's a dramatic offensive change. I think you can figure it out. Listen, in the fourth quarter and overtimes, he gets deadly accurate. I can show you. Rob, 191 yards against the Chicago Bears in fourth quarter and overtime. That's enough right there. You should say, okay, I'm good. I'm buying in.
But I've also seen the 3 quarters of terrible football.
But,
I mean,
you saw
that's out there as well.
3-16 against the Pittsburgh Steelers, the number 1 ranked
Also,
defense.
I could go back and handpick and look at all those wins and look at the teams and the situations, even in that Bears game. You got the running back runs out of bounds, stops the clock. And in the Dolphins game, they line up for the wrong defense. Even the Steelers, they put 11 guys on the front and they don't blitz and let a basic one-on-one slant pass. Anybody, I'm sorry.
Boy,
all those things.
It was a pretty pass.
It was,
too.
but I'm just saying, what defense was that? It wasn't an all-out blitz.
Hey.
I could have made that.
He's one of the better
was
deep
crazy.
throwers in pro football, Tim Tebow is. He is.